Set. Call it. Yeah! Three, two. Right, so good job making up the ground. We got to get in the habit of off the bat is when your 5-6 steps should be made up. Because when the ball is coming down, you got to be set for that now. If that turns into a crazy catch, no catch, I kind of want to be set for that.
I stood there for a second and watched it when there was no reason to.
Last one going in, guys. Last one. Yep, something not in your coverage responsibility area, Joe, isn't there's no pause, read, react. I love that you're doing it, but ball to left, you're not calling it regardless. Full swing, no point. Save the point for a half swing that you're going to say as a swing. Fully swing through it, it's a nothing call. Just hammer. You probably don't need like a lot of style today. Just a true hammer. I was talking about point of plate, like when you don't have rotation responsibility and you have responsibility at the plate area. Don't commit to third base extended or first base extended until you see the throw to the plate. The catcher is the one that's going to let you decide where you're going to go. If you go to third base extended too early, you're just guessing. Okay. Here we go, one boy. Predictable as a plate umpire, timing and verbalization. Get in the habit of saying ball, just ball, not up and in, not in, not out, just ball. Or strike. Remember, there's a checklist on every single play in two-man and every other umpire system. Priorities. Fair foul is always going to be number one. Fair foul and catch no catch are tied at number one. So that bunt down the third baseline, you can't do anything until you get on the line, call fair foul. And then if it's fair, then we can go to our next responsibility, which would be pulled foot, runner's lane interference, all that stuff. But that's all after fair. 2-2. What?
You got it now.
Yeah, like John said, that's never your initial call.
You understand what you did?
Start hitting right in.
Oh, two of the batter. Play. Ball. 1-2. One. That's pretty good, Brian. Pretty good understanding of what your responsibility is. We could probably hang point of plate a little longer. As long as you understand why you're going where you're going. We just got to make sure that the second baseman is not going to throw it to the plate. If he's not going to throw it to the plate, you can take that look around for a pull foot.
You come.
Think about this. Nobody on base. Right. Ball in play. Everybody's got to go.
Right.
Like there's nothing to stay home for. Right. We're the second set of eyes on if he touches the bag, if it turns into a swipe tag, if the thing blows up. Like we're the only other umpire out there. Let's just go. Same thing on a fly ball. Same thing on a ground ball to short. Nobody on. Chances are you got to go. Jump and three! Brian, nice job. We just want to go sooner, right? It's his catch, no catch. So off the bat, we want to go. And then when you're sure he is coming, you're kicking to the other side of second base. Like that's the natural transition for the two umpire system. So you can take the back side of second base and first base, and he's taking third base from you. So let's split the field in half if he's coming.
Ball. Got to bring it in for me, Jay.
It's a whole lot more believable when he stops giving location. And we got to recalibrate the way we think given location. It's never two things.
Right.
It's never up and in.
It's either up or
and
in.
we really want to stay away from the up and down. They can see up and down. So if I'm the coach over here, you say that's up and in, I'm going to say, Brian, there's no way that's up. Right? And you just opened up this whole can of worms where you're throwing both quadrants of the strike zone in here. You're giving me double the stuff to argue with you.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was in, it wasn't up. So now I'm not sure you got the zone right.
If it was down here, I'd go because I like
Point of plate. Right, you can get this. So think again, and it may help if you coach baseball.
Yeah.
You ever tell the kids like, what am I going to do if the ball's hit here?
Yeah. Think about it.
As we're trying to get familiar with the two umpire system and the intricacies of it, tell yourself, where am I going in this situation? Fly ball to the outfield. That's not your coverage area. He's got it. You got play at the plate. Second set of eyes on the baseball. So you got. I know sometimes we're telling you go, and sometimes we're telling you do less.
Stay. Right.
But that comes. It's really about understanding your responsibility, and that's not your catch responsibility.
Right. Because it's not even
So
close
stay
to the foul
put.
line.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only question. Get rid of the idea of the cone, and ask yourself: is the fair or foul line threatened? If the answer is yes, you're taking it.
Okay.
If the answer is no, he's keeping it. Okay.
Runner!
On the other end, bro, you got nowhere to go there, right? He starts and breaks to the plate, you put yourself in a bad spot.
Ball gets away from the third baseman. Now what?
It's you.
I run back.
You know what we file that under? Limitations of the two umpire system.
Right. Right.
Happens rarely, but is what it is.
Right.
I mean, there's a school of thought that thinks there should be no rotations at all.
Right.
But the good thing about it is you coming up the line, you can actually see a bad throw before the runner does. Not that you're going to beat him anyway,
right?
But at least you can get a head start. Like if you see him totally airmail the throw to the third baseman, you can go early.
Yeah.
The runner's not going to know that.
Right.
But we want you to start rotating earlier. Like if you don't have catch no catch primary responsibility anyway, why are we waiting?
Right. Just get out.
The primary goal here is when the runner arrives at third base that you're already there.
Right.
And so if you wait, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
Hey, good job. Stay on the catch, right? And get onto the line. When it's fair foul, we want to get to the line, get set, and then stay on the catch till voluntary release.
Hey,
you see seven foot kid?
foul ball.
Come on, dude.
2-2. Oh! 3-2.
Go Samuel! 1-1-1. Oh boy.
Joe, all that ground's got to be made up sooner. That ball's hitting, rolling to the third baseman. You got 5, 6, 7 steps to make up. And then when he throws the ball, then we shut it down. So I don't know if it was fair or foul. The key is you've got to respond to him.
Right.
You can't just take the beating.
Right.
You know what I mean? You not responding drops the credibility meter. So he says it hit the bag. What do you think you should say? You don't think it hit the bag, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't call it a foul. Something back to him is helpful, and will be a better in terms of calming him down than just kind of staring at him and then walking away from him. Give him something back.
I just figured if I go back, then he's going to come back at me, and then now we got an issue.
Well, we're not saying go at him.
Right.
Like,
No,
if I
go
say,
at him, but
it hit the bag. I didn't think it did.
Right.
Where are we going from there?
Right.
You think it did. I think it didn't.
Right.
We're going to have to go with what I think.
Right.
But no response. ends up escalating actually more than you think.
I got you. Okay.
Good job. Good job by both of you. Joe, you can make up more ground though. Right, we want to get out there as the ball starts to come down, get set on the line. You probably got another 5 steps. It's another example of nobody on, ground ball, 5 hard steps. That's all we need out of you, 5 hard ones. And get on the line for pulled foot. Like, just the way we do things is always like an indicator of who we are as an umpire. And that like elongated time, it's like kind of like little league-ish. Not that that's a bad thing, but just time. No big deal. It's like it's an administrative timeout for what, a courtesy runner?
Right.
Time. Not a big deal. No reason to draw more attention to ourselves than we need to. Part of the 2-umpire system where we're getting across the diamond is we've got to be able to retreat just as quickly when necessary, especially if the play at first isn't close. Get across and then we've got to be comfortable making a call and getting away from it. If it's close, we got to stay on it and sell it. But if it's not close, we're going to get away from it, get to the next play. Move sooner and stop sooner. And so like that steal of third, you had a couple of those where the critical elements of the play are happening. And I mentioned that phrase to Brian, the critical elements of the play. When that's happening, we should be pretty still, or at least in controlled movement at that point. You're still going quickly and still running hard, and then you've got to really break down, and then we're making a call. So I want to stop to see the play. I can move after the critical elements. I can move before the critical elements. I can't move during them. And so we can look at each play that way. What are the critical elements of a fly ball? When the ball is about to enter the glove, I'm done moving. I can move before it. I can move after it, but I can't move during it. And so we've got to time up our steps and our movement to get there early. So if you like, a major part of this is understanding where your eyes are supposed to be at a particular time. And right now we're doing a lot of watching something else other than the ball during some critical moments of the play. And if we've got, if we're coming in on a routine fly ball from a position and it's not your job it's not your primary catch responsibility, Joe, you need to be on the baseball as well.
Right.
And so if we can time it up and watch the catch with 2 umpires and still get the touch at first base, that's the perfect scenario. Right. If you can't, obviously we got to get the touch too. If it's a trouble ball in the outfield, then that changes the equation a little bit. I could probably live with you missing the touch to get a second set of eyes on a trouble ball or a pole bender down the left field line, just in case we have to get together on it. But I don't want to stare at a runner that's 3/4 of the way up or a halfway up the line or a third of the way up the line. Like that does me no good in the 2-umpire system.